Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about two different players. The first player that we are going to be talking about is going to be about Ronald Araujo, and then we're going to be talking about Ansu Fati. We do have some great news regarding these two players. Like, finally, it has been so long since we have last seen Ronald Araujo and Ansu Fati especially. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. So starting with Ronald Araujo, and it says here, according to Javi Miguel, Araujo has completed today's training session with good sensations. Everything does indicate that he will receive the green light to take part of the match against Huesca, which will be on Monday. So this is an injury that did last way longer than expected. His return came in much later. There were reports going out through the media before the match between Barcelona and PSG that Ronald Araujo was going to try and force his way into the match against PSG, but that wasn't the case. It was too late, and Araujo did not take part in that match against PSG. And then you also have to look back in that match between Barcelona and Sevilla. When Barcelona did win against Sevilla 2-0, that was the game where Araujo was forced into the match and Barcelona have paid the price. Araujo came into the match around the 70th minute and then came out about 10 minutes later, and Araujo did have to exit the match because he did re-encounter that exact same injury. And now, seeing that we do have a chance to play Araujo on Monday, would it be the right call to actually start Ronald Araujo on Monday against Huesca? So even though many know that it will be very exciting to see Araujo finally back onto the field, we have to take precautionary measures in order for him to have that smooth transition back onto the field without any problems or injuries. And then moving on to Ansu Fati. Now, this was the player that has been waited on the most. Many have been wanting to see the Spanish star and the World Breakthrough Player of the Year nominee get back into the field. We want to see Ansu Fati wear that Barcelona shirt again and score these goals for this club. And so earlier today, there was some news that did come out regarding Ansu Fati's fitness, and it says here, according to Alfredo Martinez, that he is expected to train in the grass in April. And if everything does go well, if the sensations are good for Ansu Fati, there is a chance that Ansu Fati could help Barcelona in the final stretch of the season, and he could also for sure take part of the Spanish squad for the Euro 2021. And it's crazy to finally hear this, to hear that Ansu Fati is finally going to make it back into the squad. Initially, he was supposed to be out until March 2021, but it looks like it has been extended. And just like Ronald Araujo, Ansu Fati was expected to appear in the match against PSG within the second leg, but that wasn't the case. I think that the medical team did take the right steps and evaluated Ansu Fati's recovery to say that we do not need to rush Ansu Fati's recovery because there is a chance that he could encounter the exact same injury like what's been happening to a multitude of players that have been going through this club. And so they are being very careful. They want to get this right. They do not want to see Ansu Fati back into the medical buildings anytime soon. And so if Ansu Fati is really going to come in the beginning of April and back into the training squad with the group players within those first 2 weeks of April, we should expect Ansu Fati to finally make his return by April 11th or maybe April 17th when Barcelona do play against either Real Madrid or Athletic Club. And I think that is crazy, right? It's crazy to see that Ansu Fati is going to be making his return in a El Clasico match or in the Copa del Rey final. These are going to be two games where Ansu Fati is going to be greatly needed. And honestly, many cannot wait for Ansu Fati to finally make his return. And what I do want to talk about for the rest of this video is talk about just how important are these returns for FC Barcelona. And I'm talking about Araujo and Ansu Fati. And what could the starting 11 look like with these two players back into the squad list? And I want to talk about Ronald Araujo first. So we know that Araujo has quickly become one of the best center backs in the world. A couple of months ago, we were having the discussion of Araujo being the best center back in FC Barcelona. But Araujo's progression has really got him into the discussions of who are one of the best center backs in the world. One of them is Ronald Araujo. And you can just get a sense that Barcelona just feels so much safer in that defensive line once Araujo is in that pitch. And quite simply, looking at how Araujo brings the pace into the defensive line, and also at the same time he brings the physical duels that he usually does win against the opposition, there is no other center back that has those two combinations. And looking at his contract does end in 2023. I do think that his contract is way too short. There has to be some sort of extension because the way that Araujo has been performing and who he could be in about 3 or 4 years, Barcelona have to lock this player down. Because what I think is absolutely ridiculous is that players such as Gerard Piqué, Longley, and Samuel Umtiti have the exact same length of contract or longer compared to Ronald Araujo. And so now I do want to head towards the starting 11. Assuming that there's going to be two different types of formation under Ronald Koeman for the rest of this season, it's either going to be a 3-5-2 or a 4-3-3. I do think that if we were to play in a 3-5-2, the defensive line should look like this: Mingueza as the right center back, Piquet as the center back, and Araujo as the left center back. With a defensive line like this, Barcelona can go very far in this season. I think that Piquet being in the center between Araujo and Mingueza, Piquet is a player that does have the total ball control. He is the distributor, and so that should be his main position. As for Araujo and Mingueza, who are going to be on each side of Piquet, these are two players that are going to make up the pace that Gerard Piquet cannot possess on the field. And if Barcelona were to use a 4-3-3, that defensive line should look something like this: Serginho Dest as the right back, Mingueza and Araujo as the center back duo, and Jordi Alba as the left back. This is also a defensive line that would have no problem when it comes to tracking back. The pace is there, the physicality is there, and the hunger to wanting to win the ball against the opposition is going to be there for sure. And then now moving towards Ansu Fati. So before Ansu Fati did leave because of the injury, Ansu Fati left as the top scorer for FC Barcelona in La Liga, and he also scored 1 goal in the Champions League. And I remember back on November 2020, before he encountered that injury, many quickly did see the importance Ansu Fati was going to be having in this season for this club. And to make that type of mark within the squad at the age of 18, that is just something that has to be admired. But because Ansu Fati has encountered that injury, Barcelona have greatly paid the price, because for the rest of the season post Ansu Fati's injury, Barcelona greatly did need a goal scorer. And one of the most noticeable performances that Barcelona has displayed on the field, where it did show that they did need a player that could score goals, was in the match between PSG and Barcelona, where they have tied 1-1 in Paris. That game was the peak of what Barcelona was greatly missing throughout this whole season, and that was for a player to score the goals. Because yes, we had Dembélé, who was doing very well on the right flank and the left flank. We also saw Lionel Messi, who was scoring goals, providing assists, but we did need a player that was constantly scoring at least a goal in every game. Ansu Fati could have been that player with the trajectory that he was having earlier this season. But now hearing that Ansu Fati will be coming back within the first 12 days of April, Barcelona can end on a great note. We do have very important matches. We do have a chance to win La Liga, and we also do have a chance to win the Copa del Rey in that final, and Ansu Fati can greatly help us within those moments. So just like we did with Ronald Araujo, and where we could be placing him on the pitch within the starting 11, we are going to be having two options for Ansu Fati. It would either be having Ansu Fati in a 3-5-2 formation or in a 4-3-3. Starting with the 3-5-2, I think that the front two should be Lionel Messi and Ansu Fati. We have to remember that the combination between Messi and Ansu Fati was something so extraordinary that it was either Messi was scoring a goal or Ansu Fati was scoring a goal, or either Ansu Fati was providing an assist or Messi was providing an assist. We do want to see Messi and Ansu Fati in that front two, right in front of the 5-man midfield of Jordi Alba, Frenkie de Jong, Busquets, Pedri, and Serginho Dest. Now, if Ronald Koeman were to use a 4-3-3, we should expect Ronald Koeman to execute probably the front three that many have been wanting to see for so long, and that is to have Ansu Fati as the left winger, Messi as the center forward, and Dembélé as the right winger. Just looking at this front three here, I would be more than happy to use this front three onto the next season. This is a front three that would also be considered as the worst case scenario of what Barcelona's front three could look like in the next season. And just looking at what these three players could provide in that front line, this is a front three that could make history with Barcelona if they all do understand each other very, very well. We have yet to see a front three like this play very consistently, and I do think that in this season, we do have a chance to finally see that, and who knows how that may turn out. And we should expect Koeman to use this front three against very high-level oppositions. But that's going to be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. Let me know if you guys are excited to see Ansu Fati and Ronald Araujo finally back into the squad list, and how would you place them within the starting 11 once they are both fully back and fully firing for FC Barcelona. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.